So, despite the somewhat cringy title, this is something I've been kind of wanting to make a video on, which is basically knowing the value of your inventory and determining whether it's worth selling or not. And what you're looking at here are some older 250 gigabyte, 3.5-inch desktop hard drives. And I've been sitting on these for a while because they need to be wiped and tested. But the problem is they don't sell very well and they're just not worth anything. So this is something I pulled off of eBay just today as of recording this. And as you can see, these are some of the cheaper ones. And they're selling them for $7.99 each. And I should have probably wrote down the numbers, so I'm just going to do them in my head as I'm talking. So basically, on that $7.99, you're going to be paying 30 cents in transaction fees. And I just average everything at 10% because I don't know the fees specifically for these. I think it's like 7.15% or whatever. But you also pay that on sales tax, so I just call it 10%. And so basically you're paying another 80 cents in fees, so $1.10 in fees. Well, the problem with these hard drives is generally they weigh around a pound, and if you properly pack them and you're not an idiot, you end up being slightly over a pound to ship them. So you're looking at priority mail rates generally, unless you're dishonest and misuse media mail, or maybe you get some other discount. But let's say shipping and handling on these, you can ship them for $7. Well, you sold the drive for $8, paid $1.10 in fees, and you paid $7 for the label and then the packaging. So you made negative 10 cents. Where's the money in that? Even, like, let's say, even if you lie and you say that the package weighs 16 ounces so you can send them first class, I believe the label cost is almost $6 now for first class at that weight. So, like, even there, still, like, okay, $6 plus $1.10 in fees. Okay, well, now you made 89 cents. You have to wipe them, you have to test them. You're inevitably going to get returns for a variety of reasons. There's my kitty. There's just no money in it, and it makes no sense. I can recycle these. I don't remember, I haven't recycled hard drives in a while, but I believe it's like 30 or 45 cents a pound. So I can smash these with a hammer and make more money than these people selling these, basically. Now, there's the alternative where you sell in bulk, but if people aren't willing to pay $8 a drive for individual tested drives, odds are they're not going to be willing to pay more than $5 a drive for bulk. And let's say you can ship 40 drives well packed for, I gotta think of a number that's easy to do in my head. I think 60 cents a drive would be $24 for a label. So, I mean, let's say that you could ship them for 60 cents a drive. You're doing better, even though that's not a realistic shipping cost. You'd probably be looking more like, I would say probably almost $36 on the low end for shipping and handling, assuming you properly package the drives and you actually care about your customer. I've seen people just throw drives like this loose in boxes and call it a day. So yeah, you can do a little bit better in bulk, but let's say you sell these for $5 a drive in bulk. It costs you $1 a drive to ship and 50 cents in fees. You're going to make $3.50 a drive, but now you have to worry about what happens if the drives fail or don't pass the buyer's testing. And on top of that, you've invested all this time into wiping and testing the drives, plus power costs. Is it really worth your time? Or, are there better things you can do, which I don't have any examples in my room, but maybe that time would be better spent testing DDR3 memory that's going to make more money for your effort. So it's kind of one of those tricky things of knowing the value of your inventory and whether it's worth your time. In my case, I could probably still make it worth my time selling these in bulk, but the problem is the time that I would dedicate to going through these could be spent on better things. Like I said, I don't have good examples in here right now, but maybe I could save this drawer, and maybe I could test some of this 32 gig memory I was sitting around and stuff, and preparing it for sale versus testing drives, and the memory is going to make me a higher profit per unit. Well, now I'm in a different part of my office and have a little bit of a different example here. This drawer. So I sell a lot of pieces and parts to desktops, and these are actually my listings. So I'm going to use these replacement rubber feet. These are actually price competitive right now. I believe I am one of the cheapest ones available on eBay. But this here again kind of comes into what's your time worth. And like a lot of this stuff, these are hard drive LED cables for PERC H310 RAID controllers. So I don't have to test this. It's a cable. It's probably not going to be bad. The only reason people are going to buy it is because they're missing them. Or maybe they accidentally cut their cable. So I'm not putting a big time investment in this stuff other than sorting it. And it doesn't have really any value. Like, there's probably 8 or 9 cables in this bag. And if I were to scrap this, I mean, it hardly weighs anything. It probably weighs 2 ounces. So, I don't know how much I get a pound. I think I get like 70 cents a pound right now for scrap wire. So, I mean, there's basically nothing there, money-wise. And I just might as well let it sit there. And occasionally someone buys them. Sweet. I'm going to make more money than scrap. But on some of this stuff, you got to be cognizant of like how much it's going to cost to ship and everything. So, this example here, these Dell Optiplex 9020 power buttons, I'm selling for $7.98. I believe there's people that are selling them for around like $5.25 or maybe $5.50. So I'm well above the other people in price. But I actually did the numbers on this one, and there's a reason why I have it priced that way. So if I'm selling something small that can go first class under 3 ounces at $7.98, it's going to cost me $4 in shipping and handling. That's the label cost, that's the bubble envelope, that's a piece of bubble wrap. The handling side of that is probably 60 cents. This is probably actually a little low because a lot of places now on the 3 ounce rate, I'm looking at almost $4 for the label, which is ridiculous in my opinion, but it's whatever. Then I'm factoring another dollar in fees. The fee categories for a lot of these little cables and stuff is probably more towards the 10% rate. So I make $2.98 for my time. And I would say to package that, probably not using more than like 5 minutes of my time, because you can't just grab something randomly and it's like, all right, well, I think this is what they ordered, and throw it in a bubble envelope and slap a label on it. I mean, you can, but personally, what I like to do is verify I'm seeing the right item to the right person, because I want to make sure my customers get what they pay for. So for $5 or 5 minutes of my time making $2.98, that's not great, but it's not terrible. A lot of this stuff really isn't worth my time if it weren't for the fact that I don't have any other places to sell it, basically. So I don't think I have any loose motherboards handy. Here we go. So these are motherboards. I have those Lenovo Tinies. I'm price competitive on these. There's not people that are trying to give them away, but motherboards are an example of where sometimes it's not worth selling. So like, let's say this was a motherboard for an Optiplex 380. A lot of people are selling those for $15 free shipping, and it's going to cost me $10 in shipping and handling. Well, if I'm only going to make a couple bucks on it, I'm either not going to be able to take the time to test it and make sure it works, or I'm just not going to test it and hope it works and then lose money when it gets returned. So with stuff like this, I can scrap this for $1 if this was a bigger motherboard. If this is like an Optiplex 380 motherboard. So there's a lot of times where I'll just scrap the item because there's just no profit in it. These power supplies are an example of something that I find that's worth sitting on. I'm kind of price competitive on these. It's kind of it's neither here nor there. But like, I'm probably going to get 20 cents out of these for scrap if I throw them in the pile. Well, I can also list them on eBay for, I think I'm listed for like $40. And they'll cost me $15 to ship and basically another $5 in fees. And I'll make 20 bucks. So, this is worth my time. Basically, I guess what I'm trying to say in this video is when it comes to your inventory, you need to factor in more than what it's worth. You need to factor in the time it takes to process the inventory, and also factor in, does the price justify that time? So like if I was trying to be price competitive with all these cables, there's a lot of these cables that aren't worth selling. This is actually a good example. This is a front I/O cable for, I guess, Optiplex 7010 DT. I think people are selling these for like $6 a piece free shipping. Well, I have mine listed for $11.99 because it's going to cost me like $6 to ship it, and I'm not gonna sell something just to lose money. And I could cut the wire off basically right here and get my penny's worth of scrap copper, but it doesn't really cost me that much to let this just sit here and wait for them to occasionally sell, because I do sell some of these at a higher price than everybody else. The other aspect is like in bulk. So the only way you could sell something like this and be price competitive is plan on people buying them in bulk, because then your margins are going to be better because you're going to, in theory, pay less for shipping. That kind of gets tricky as well, because maybe somebody buys 3 of these and that puts you just over £1 for shipping. Well, now you're paying the £2 rate, and you might not be saving any money from a shipping standpoint then. It'll save you a little, but it's like a negligible amount. But when it comes to selling stuff, my advice is to value your time and understand the amount of time you have to invest in something versus the amount of profit you're going to make. Obviously, in like the higher value stuff and the higher profit margin stuff, it's worth it to invest more time. These are some Juniper 24 port gigabit PoE switches. Those are all tested working. I don't remember what I'm selling them for, but I believe I'm selling them in pairs, and after shipping and fees, I'll probably make like $25 a switch. So that's one of those situations where the value of the item has exceeded the time and the scrap. And this will be more of if you're selling stuff electronics and stuff like I'm selling. I don't know like how this would apply to things that you can't just roll over the scale, the scrapyard, like clothing or whatever. Although there might be situations there where, I don't know, maybe you have some cool t-shirt, but like there's a billion of them on the market and nobody cares about it. And then You could sell that shirt for $7.98. Well, if your shipping and handling everything ends up working out the same, it's still worth your time. But you definitely want to make sure, especially like I have no experience with selling clothing, so maybe I might be wrong, but like I assume people that are selling used clothing are actually like washing the stuff before they sell it. So, is it worth washing the shirt, taking pictures of it, and folding it up real nice and storing it for $2.98? I don't think I would personally. I would probably just sell the shirt in a garage sale for 50 cents and get rid of it. Cut my losses, and as long as it's not, I suppose, if the shirt's gross and stuff, like I'd probably just throw it away or use it as a rag. But like if I have to clean it before I sell it, then, I feel like from a time standpoint, it's just not worth the effort. Same with like glassware. If you were selling some shot glasses or whatever that were nothing special, is it worth your time and effort to sell the thing and deal with the risks involved with selling it? If it's a garage sale, then it's different. But with e-commerce, you got shipping and fees, and that eats into your profit. And I will say that, free shipping is not free shipping. All I've done is it built the shipping price into the price of the item. And there are reasons for that, because like I could sell this for $2 and charge $5.49 for the first shipping, the shipping cost of the first item. But I actually make more money if I do it this way, because if they buy multiple items, they're going to want to discount the shipping costs for combined shipping. Well, you don't get this if you have free shipping, and you just pay whatever the item is. So that's another little trick there. But yeah, I don't know. I think I kind of got a little off topic there, but hopefully that's interesting and gives you a little insight into at least my thought process with a lot of this stuff, because there's just a lot of things that people sell that really aren't worth your time if you're not going to charge enough to sell them. And actually, give you another example here if I can find one. Actually, these would be good. I'm trying to catch my shirt on the ones in the front. So this is a PCI Firewire card, and I think my competitors are selling these for like $6.50, and there's just no money in it. Like at that point, I can scrap these and make more money after shipping and fees. So I think I'm trying to sell mine for $9.99. I'm not really getting any hits. Since I sell electronics, I'm in a little bit of a different position though, because a lot of this inventory, like all these expansion cards on top of my shelves, it's not stuff that I care if it sells or not. Like I'm more than happy to sell it if I hit my target profit margins. Part of what is going on is I'm using eBay as a inventory management tool that also makes me money. So if I need a Firewire card, I can look in my eBay store and be like, all right, well, I got those full height ones there that I can grab and I can put in a machine. So, yeah, enough going off topic. Hopefully that was interesting, and thanks for watching.